Welcome back to another exciting episode of Botcast, where we delve deep into the realm of generative AI and its real world applications. I'm your host, Mansa, and today we have a distinguished speaker on board. And we are thrilled to have Prerak Bhatia, Director at Barclays Private Bank, join us as our guest today. Prerak brings over 12 years of experience in the financial industry, focusing primarily on private clients and wealth management. Throughout his career, he has been recognized for his expertise in financial modeling, valuation, and equity research. I welcome you, Prerak.
Thank you so much, Manasa. It's a pleasure to be here.
In this episode, we explore the topic of impact of AI on the financial industry and gain insights into how AI is transforming customer service, investment, and portfolio management. Without further ado, let's dive into the conversation to explore the influence of AI in the financial sector. First question to you is: how is AI transforming customer service and support in the financial industry? What are some of the benefits and limitations of using AI in customer service? Could you just shed some light on this?
Yeah, at the outset, I would like to say I'm not an expert at AI, but I'll share my perspective, limited perspective on AI, right? Um, I think AI is causing a huge disruption in customer service. It is an impact area. It is an area where the impact, I think, is going to be one of the deepest. Like all other technologies in the past, I feel that AI is going to aid customer service. It will not replace humans completely. There is definitely going to be some impact. And I think it is going to be more towards efficiency and optimization of customer service. For example, we very often, when we are speaking to people on the phone, on customer service, the response usually is, I'll get back to you, or I'm not really sure what the answer to your question is. I think all those days will be behind us. Thanks to AI, the models can predict what clients are going to ask. And if they ask something, the answers will be readily available to customer service executives. Also, I think there'll be huge amount of displacement itself. For basic jobs, AI is already being used in a big way where one does not need to speak to customer service persons. They have been replaced by bots completely. But overall, if we see, the impact is going to be more on efficiency and optimization and not a complete replacement of humans by bots. And that is my limited experience and perspective on this.
So let's move on to the another area where AI can potentially make a difference. Regulatory compliance and risk management. How do you think AI would contribute to these aspects?
Yeah, so I mean, as far as my understanding goes, when you sort of feed a lot of data to machines, and AI is really good at identifying patterns. And whenever, these patterns are not being followed by a certain user, unusual activity gets detected, and hence it helps definitely in fraud prevention. I think it has made a lot of advances already, whereby the moment you do a transaction which is not in line with what you've done in the past, these transactions get flagged off, and you immediately get calls from your banks, automated calls, and you need to ratify whether this transaction is genuine or not. So I think these models are only going to get better. And while I can't peep into the future, but I think to a very large extent, AI is going to really help compliance and fraud detection in a very big way. So that's another huge impact of AI in the banking and financial services industry.
So, my next question is another critical topic of fraud detection and prevention in financial industry. So, how is AI being utilized to detect and prevent fraud, and what role does it play in maintaining security for financial institutions and their customers?
Right. Look, great question. Impact of AI is not going to leave any area untouched across the board, right? Even when you're talking about war today, Russia, Ukraine, fair amount of AI is being used to get a advantage over the enemy. I mean, both Ukrainians and Russians are trying that. So I think anything related to finance, security, fraud detection, not go untouched. Having said which, fraud detection, of course, we spoke a bit about with respect to security, right? I think fair bit of work is happening on this field as we see massive amount of financial frauds happening in the economy today. Especially when we look at in India, we see so many UPI related frauds happening. I think the large fintech companies are today spending enough money on R&D to prevent these frauds, and AI is the tool with which they will be able to build up defenses against these kind of problems. Also, data pilferage is a big problem whereby a lot of hackers have access to client data. So I think masking of data with the help of AI is going to be another area where which is ripe for disruption. So again, AI is going to play I think, significant role in managing these kind of things. Look, the advantage with AI is that you're able to digest and make sense of copious amount of data which humans can't do. And even if we were to do, we would take thousands of years to do that. So AI is going to accelerate the rate at which problems are being solved. So I think it's a great thing for us to, have access to this technology.
Sounds like a game changer. But before we wrap up, I'd love to hear your thoughts on advanced language models like Chat GPT and the role in financial sector, and also models like generative AI and the benefits that bring to businesses and financial industry.
It's truly scary, the capability of these models, and it is surprising that a bot can do this for you. And thanks to AI, the amount of intelligence that is being generated through these models is honestly mind-blowing. I mean, I honestly feared there could be a time when wealth managers like myself could be replaced by AI. But again, I do believe that human touch, human intervention has a place of its own, and it just can't be replaced by AI. Like many other fields, AI is going to help both clients and service providers like ourselves to make the right decisions basis the intelligence that gets generated using these models. But it is phenomenal what these models are capable of, and the speed at which that intelligence is growing. My hope is that AI models like Chat GPT become a tool that is available to service providers rather than as a replacement for service providers. And I think human intervention will always be there. It'll always be needed, and it'll always stay with us. We've had sort of crude models in existence for many years, but that doesn't mean that banks and service providers, financial service providers, are shut shop, right? They continue to exist. They continue to thrive. I think all of us as service providers will have to up our game so that we are not totally replaced by AI. But of course, there will be some amount of disruption for people who do not start using these techniques and models. And people who do use them will have a edge over others.
A big thank you, Prerak, for sharing your valuable insights and experiences on impact of AI in financial industry.
Thank you, Manasa. It's a pleasure being on the show. Thank you.
We hope you have enjoyed this episode of podcast. If you found the insights shared today valuable, don't forget to subscribe and stay updated on the latest advancements in generative AI and real-world applications. Thank you all viewers for tuning in. Until next time, this is Mansa signing off. See you soon on the next episode of podcast.